This is KP the Math G here, and I know that as for the AP Calculus students, you are done with this, but you know, this is also for those who are coming up in the future, and even those who are still taking calculus. This is an AP question from a test, but needless to say, the calculus is still the same. All right, so let's look at it. It is a 2014 free response question one, and one reason I want to go over this is that I had to study this a little bit myself. I had to get the question in my mind straight, and then I could solve. And I finally got it. But sometimes you read things and you think about one way of doing something, and then you think, oh, I left something out. And that's what happened with me. I left something out. And what it boils down to, anyone who's hearing this, is that you have to pay attention to what is said in the question. And that way you will be able to at least set it up properly and then maybe be able to solve it. Let's go ahead and look at the question. It has to do with grass clippings in a bin. It says for t being between 0 and 30, inclusive of 0 and 30, and this is in days. The amount of grass clippings in a bin is modeled by A at t is equal to 6.687 times 0.931 raised to the t. My oh my, I have that one almost memorized completely. I've looked at this problem so many times today, well, last week too. Where A at t is in pounds, t is measured in days. Find the time t for which the amount of grass clippings, and I left some stuff out here, but is equal to the average amount of grass clippings, t being between 0 and 30, included 0 and 30 as well. Well, let's think about this. This represents the amount of grass clippings. Okay, so when we think about this, let me highlight this. This is the amount of grass clippings right here. So it's when the amount, I'm just going to abbreviate that. That's A at t for the time being. Now we will do the math on this, the calculus part of it. Now is equal to, it is equal to, oh, right here, equal to, all right, the amount of grass clippings is equal to, all right, there it is right there, the average amount of grass clippings. Well, the average is, remember how to do that? That's from like that. There's your average amount right there. Now it wouldn't hurt to have put this in your calculator, which I need to reach over and grab here. I have y sub 0. You could have y sub 1 equals, and then put this whole thing in there, 6.687 times 0.931 raised to the t. And I would put that in there if I were you, okay? Just make sure you put that just makes life a whole lot simpler like that. We're going to do this by hand though, to an extent, and then we'll come up with our answer. This is the only one that we're going to work. It's going to take a little time to do that, and then I will do D as well. I want to do that at another time, but this is what I want to concentrate on, my efforts on. I breezed through A and B, and I figured out D all right, but C, I just forgot about this. I just was not thinking about the amount of grass clippings. That's this is equal to the average amount. All right, at one time or another, it's equal. All right, so that's what I want to do. All right, so let's work it out. Oh, I've got it written down on paper here. Let's put back A at T up here, and then that way we can just follow along. All right, A at T is equal to 6.6 87, yes. 87 0.931. Yeah, 931. 931. 931 raised to the T. That, okay, this amount, all right, so we'll go ahead and do it by hand. 6.687 times 0.931 to the T. It is equal to this average. So 1 over 30 from 0 to 30. That's what average is. Always that right there. And then the same thing. Okay. Alright, like that. Okay. Now you can figure out this right here. What you really have to do is, the question is, find the time T at which the glass, so I want to find T. That's what I'm looking for. I'm solving for T here. This is going to be a number here. This is a number. All of that's a number. But we have a definite interval. Okay. So this all is a number. So I want to figure out what this side is equal to, and then go from there. Now what I did this. I know that if I can get this out of here, I will be all right. So this is what I did, okay, in my solving. Let me. All right, so I simply, oh boy. All right, you can divide or multiply by 1 over this. So I'm just going to go ahead and multiply by 1 over this. All right, bear with me. I know it. Okay, times this times this. Now I want you to think about this. If you can get this out of here, and you have this raised to the T, you remember what you can do with that, right? You know, you can put this T out in front. You can use ln, can't you? But you got to remember to use ln on both sides. Alright, so now I'm going to have this times 1 over 30, multiplying it on both sides, times now this interval here. And I'm almost wanting to just say A at T dt, but anyway. Just going to go ahead and do it mathematically, by hand. I actually love doing some things by hand, okay? I really do. Now, I got a numerical answer for this. I went ahead and figured this out. And what I did is I did this first, and then I simply divided by this times this, okay? 6.687 times 30, all right? And then I got my answer here. So, let me see what I got on this side here, on this left side, right side rather. When I did all of this, now at this point here, I could see, this is the beauty in this, and here's one way we could write this. Okay, so now I could pull up, I could get the y bars, okay, and pull that up. That list is going to come down, and if you're at y sub 1, then you plug that in. Now dx right here. And then you can divide that by 6.687 times 30. You can do that. And I set it up this way right here. Alright. My answer to that, which I may need some more room here, but that's the way I did this. This side, okay, now this is gone, and I'm left with just, on this left side, it's 0.931 raised to the t, and now that's equal to this. Remember, I multiplied by the reciprocal of this, so I could just get this by itself. I want to introduce that ln, see? That's what I wanted to do. Now this here is, all of this is really underneath this right here. It's all underneath here. You could write it like this, and that's the equivalent of this. And now I don't need that. I just put this in the denominator like that. Okay, and then I call this y sub 1, and in my case it's y sub 0, but either way, I'm just saying, if this is y sub 1, now you can call that up. Okay, and that will pull that up for you right here. Alright, you are going to get a numerical answer. All of this equals, this right side rather, is equal to, it's a long number, okay, so 0.4116 397 6487 6487, and that goes on and on. So you really need to say it's approximately equal to that, because it just goes on and on and on. Alright, so I know that this right side is this number here. Okay, just understand how to do that. Now this is what I did here. I knew that if I could get this alone, I could get t by itself by doing this ln here. Okay, and then I could introduce, once I get that down, I mean, I'm good with that now, and I can get that t by itself. Okay, so that's this number here. Alright, and I really want to, this is, you already have this right here, so I'm going to erase this. Alright, all of this is equal to this. So, well, it's so far apart. Alright, so let's just bring it all up. Well, okay. Okay, 0.931, sorry, raised to the t power. Okay, now to get t from being an exponent, I want that t down as a base, so I introduce ln. And one thing I did, and I still, believe it or not, I still make mistakes, um, and I'm just going to go on out with this. So bear with me while I do that. Alright, 41163976487. Okay, yeah. I forgot. What did I leave off? And it happens sometimes. It just and you think, oh wow, how did I get a negative number? How did I get? No, well, I left off the LN, didn't I? That's right. If you LN one side, you have to LN the other side. Okay, that made a whole difference. Now the T can come out in front. So now TLN of 0.931 is equal to LN of all this 0.41163976487. And I don't want to round until I get through. Okay, I like to just leave it all out here. Okay, there is a recall. I'm having trouble recalling it on my phone, but you can recall this each time and you will get an exact, more exact answer here. Now to solve for T, I'll just simply divide by LN. I knew I would need this entire board. Okay, LN. Alright, and then now this is gone, and now I have T being approximate, let's see, make a better looking T than that, approximately equal to, now, when you divide this, you get 12.414,773. And of course, in AP calculus, you would either cut it off here, or you can round up, but you got to have 3 decimal places. So 12.415 days. All right, for this, what are we saying? For this total amount to be equal to the average amount, I don't need to flip that over, it will take 12.415, almost 12 and a half days. Okay, and that's what it is. That's what that means. Alright, well, that's part C, and then another video I will do part D. It all has to do, going back just a little bit, it all has to do with understanding the total for which find time T, for which the total amount, or the amount of grass clippings is equal to the average amount of grass clippings. Okay, so, and this is it right here. Okay. Alright, we did it by hand. You need to get accustomed to working something out by hand if you could. Alright? And the more you practice that, the better off you'll be. I still practice. If I were perfect, I'd never make mistakes. But I know that I'm not perfect. That's why I keep practicing, even me. I mean, I'm not a professor, I'm not even a teacher anymore. I'm retired. But I'm enjoying doing this. I do this on the side. This makes, I want to say, either the 132nd or 133rd video. I want to say this is the 133rd video. All of them are calculus based, by the way. But anyway, I mean, if you know someone who's taking college algebra or something and has a question on that, I'll start putting up some college algebra concepts or whatever. or we can just keep on doing some calculus. And there's other calculus that I haven't done just yet. That's higher level, and I might want to get into that in the near future. Okay, but I'm gonna have to study. Okay, KP the Math G here, ladies and gentlemen. If you would like to subscribe and you haven't done so, please subscribe if you haven't. If you like to hit that like button, I love those. If you want to make a comment, please do that as well. KP the Math G signing off. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great day.